In an instant, Kale reacted to Farah's unexpected move. Her protective instincts kicked in as she saw her daughter dart towards Bardock with such determination. Without hesitation, she lunged forward and seized Farah firmly around the waist, pulling her back with a firm yet gentle grip. "No, no, no, not so fast, young lady," she exclaimed, her voice filled with a combination of surprise and authoritative maternal sternness. "What do you think you're doing, running at a stranger like that?"
Surprise and a touch of embarrassment washed over Farah's face as her mother effortlessly snatched her up, halting her impromptu charge towards Bardock in mid-run. Her childish determination had been effectively thwarted by her mother's quick intervention. Farah, feeling slightly foolish, tried to explain herself. "But Mom, I just wanted to meet him," she protested, her voice tinged with a hint of pouty disappointment. "I was just curious."
Kale held Farah firmly in her arms, her grip steadfast yet gentle. She could see the mixture of surprise, embarrassment, and a little disappointment on Farah's face as her attempt at a rush towards Bardock was disrupted. She gave her daughter a slightly scolding but affectionate squeeze before responding. "I know you're curious, sweetie, but you can't just run at someone like that, especially someone you've never met," she chided gently. "It's important to be careful and respectful. We can introduce you properly like civil beings, all right? No more charging."
Farah pouted slightly, feeling a touch scolded for her impulsive act. She sulked a little, her youthful impatience clearly showing. However, the sensible wisdom and stern authority in her mother's words began to sink in. She realized that her eagerness might have crossed a boundary. With a hint of reluctance, her voice slightly pouty but compliant. "Okay, Mom," she grumbled. "No more charging. I'll be respectful and wait to be introduced properly." Feeling a pang of realization and embarrassment for her impulsive behavior, Farah quickly remembered her manners. She glanced over at Bardock, who had silently observed the entire exchange, and offered a small, apologetic bow. Her voice, although still laced with a hint of embarrassment, was sincere as she spoke. "I'm sorry for sprinting at you like that," she said, her words sheepish and earnest. "I got ahead of myself in my curiosity. I should have asked politely first instead of rushing."
Bardock chuckled at Farah's apology, his earlier surprise now replaced with a warm smile. He could sense her embarrassment and the sincere regret in her voice. He held up a hand, dismissing her apology with a gentle gesture. "No need to apologize, little one," he replied, his tone soft and understanding. "You're young, and your curiosity got the best of you. I can understand that. Just keep your energy in check next time, all right?"
Farah's embarrassment began to ease slightly at Bardock's response. His warm smile and forgiving tone made her feel a bit more at ease, and she could sense his genuine understanding of her impulsive behavior. She gave a small nod, her voice softer and a little more sheepish this time. "Okay, I'll try to be more mindful next time," she promised, her gaze still a little self-conscious. "No more unexpected races towards strangers." "I'll ask first. Ain't this day meeting?"
Seeing Farah's embarrassment ease and her agreement to be more mindful in the future, Kale's expression softened further. She gave her daughter a small, approving smile, her voice affectionate yet reassuring. "That's more like it, sweetie," she applauded, gently caressing Farah's hair. "You can be curious and excited, but safety and respect come first, remember? No more surprise tackles or races without making sure it's okay first. Got it?"
Serious once again, as he Rhaego's expression turned serious once again as he began to discuss the looming threat of the evil counterpart and Frieza's newfound alliance. Now onto the matter on hand, he began, his tone turning earnest. We need to address the issue of my evil counterpart and Frieza's partnership. It's a dangerous development that poses a serious risk to the universe.
Bardock's expression grew more solemn as Rhaego brought up the issue at hand. His mind immediately turned to the gravity of the situation. Your evil counterpart and Frieza's alliance. Indeed, it's a dangerous combination, he agreed, his voice serious. We can't let them continue unchecked. They're both threats on their own that we can handle. But together, it's a different ballgame altogether. Bardock's expression turned even more solemn as he listened to Rhaego's details about his evil counterpart's return and the destruction caused. Damn it, he muttered under his breath, the gravity of the situation weighing heavily on him. He's already caused so much damage, and now with Frieza and your evil counterpart working together, this is bad. Bardock's frown deepened as he processed Rhaego's information. The thought of Frieza being deceived and manipulated by the evil counterpart was concerning. Your evil counterpart is smarter than I gave him credit for, he remarked, a hint of grudging respect in his voice. Manipulating Frieza, it's a bold and dangerous move. But why is he bothering with Frieza in the first place? What's his end goal here?
Rhaego clenched his fist at the of his evil counterpart's manipulative tactics. He could only imagine the twisted thoughts and motivations behind such actions. From what I know, he responded, his voice tense and determined. My evil counterpart is a master manipulator. He operates on a deeper, more cunning level than you can imagine. As for his endgame, I think he sees Frieza as a potential tool he can use to pursue his own objectives. His ultimate goal is destruction and power, and he'll use anyone and anything at his disposal to achieve it.
Bardock's frown deepened as he took in Rhaego's words. The extent of his evil counterpart's manipulation skills seemed to surpass even what he had imagined. Destruction and power, he repeated, his voice a mix of contemplation and concern. That's a dangerous combination. And you've already suffered losses because of it. 7 members lost, that's a severe blow.
Kale's voice was solemn and filled with sadness as she added to the conversation, her eyes reflecting a mixed grief and understanding. Losing so many members, friends, and allies, it's a heavy toll, she said, her voice filled with a quiet pain. Especially when some of those losses were due to Frieza's deceptive practices and manipulation. Kayla's shoulders slumped slightly as her gaze softened, the weight of her losses pressing down on her. Her voice quivered slightly as she responded. Memories of Caulifla, Kaba, and Shallot flickered in her eyes. Losing Caulifla, Kaba, and Shallot, it's been incredibly difficult. They were my friends, my comrades. And Goku's family, they were innocent victims. It's a constant ache, a hole in my heart that won't easily heal. To make it through the chaos. Faye's expression flickered with a glimmer of hope as she remembered Shallot's survival. Her eyes briefly brightened, but a hint of sadness still lingered in her voice. Yes, you're right, Shallot survived, she said, her voice tinged with both relief and sorrow. He managed to make it through the chaos, and for that, I'm grateful. It eases some of the pain, knowing at least one friend is safe. Slightly as her gaze softened, the weight of her losses pressing down on her. Her voice quivered slightly as she responded. Memories of Caulifla, Kaba, and Shallot flickered in her eyes. Losing Caulifla, Kaba, and Shallot, it's been incredibly difficult. They were my friends, my comrades. And Goku's family, they were innocent victims. It's a constant ache, a hole in my heart that won't easily heal.
Feeling a sense of determination and responsibility, Rhaego gathered his thoughts and shared his plan with Bardock. His voice was firm and clear, his confidence evident in his every word. I think I have an idea, he announced, his eyes focusing on Bardock. We need to intercept and confront my evil counterpart. We can't allow him and Frieza to continue down this path. I have a theory on how we can use their alliance against them, but I'll need your help to carry it out.
You've got my attention. Bardock's expression shifted from worry to determination as he listened to Raigo's proposal. He nodded, a spark of curiosity in his eyes. I'm listening, he replied, crossing his arms and showing that he was all ears. You've got a plan in mind, eh? Let's hear it. You've got my attention.
Raigo smirked slightly, appreciating Bardock's willingness to hear him out. He took a moment to gather his thoughts and articulate his plan clearly. His voice held a confident edge as he began explaining. All right, here's the gist of it, he said, his eyes locked on Bardock. We'll use their alliance against them. We can manipulate them into a situation where they unwittingly reveal their true plans and objectives, allowing us to gain a strategic advantage. We can expose their scheme and dismantle their partnership from within.
Bardock listened intently, his gaze locked on Raigo as he absorbed the information. The plan made sense, and it made his heart beat a little faster with hope. He nodded in agreement as he replied, "You're a goddamn genius, you know that?" Goku nodded in agreement, his expression growing a bit more optimistic. I have to admit, that plan might just work. It's a long shot, but it's worth a shot. Better than doing nothing and waiting around like sitting ducks, right?
Bardock chuckled at the compliment. He had to admit, even he was impressed by the plan himself. Well, I've been called a genius by a couple of people before, he smirked, a hint of arrogance in his voice. But yeah, this plan ain't bad. It's risky, but you know what they say. The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward, right? Better than doing nothing indeed.
Kale's eyes shined with admiration and pride as Bardock spoke, her voice filled with genuine appreciation. Raigo's always been tactical and resourceful, she remarked, her voice filled with a touch of admiration. His genius often surprises me. But you're right. Sometimes, taking risks is necessary to achieve the biggest rewards. This plan, while daring, has a chance to turn the situation around.
Bardock nodded in agreement, acknowledging Kale's words. He had to admit, Raigo was quite impressive with his strategic thinking. That's true, Kale, he replied, his tone holding a hint of respect. Raigo's got a knack for finding solutions. And in a dire situation like this, it's exactly what we need. This plan might be a bit bold, but it's better than sitting back and waiting for something to happen. We've got to act now.
Goku's expression hardened at Kale's words, his fists clenched tighter, anger and determination flaring up within him. Damn right, he responded, his voice cold and steady. That bastard needs to pay for what he's done. It's not just me he's hurt, it's all of us. We have to take him down, no matter what it takes.
Kale's expression softened as she turned her gaze towards Raigo, her eyes meeting his in a moment of shared understanding and determination. She knew that Raigo's anger and pain ran deep, mirrored in her own heart. She spoke softly, her voice filled with unwavering support. Raigo, we're in this together, she said quietly, placing a gentle hand on his shoulder. Whatever path you choose to take against Frieza, I'm right by your side. You're not alone in this.
Raigo's features softened as he looked into Kale's eyes, her words touching his heart. He felt a sense of comfort and strength as he heard her voice's unwavering support for him. Her touch on his shoulder was a reassurance he needed at that moment. Kale, he said quietly, a mix of gratitude and determination in his voice. Having you by my side means everything to me. Your strength and unwavering support have been my guiding light in this journey. Thank you. Hmm. Rhaego's expression turned serious as he addressed the main issue they were facing. The mention of the evil version of himself and Frieza brought a renewed sense of focus and determination to his demeanor. You're right, he agreed, his voice firm and resolute. Defeating my evil counterpart and Frieza is our top priority, but we can't underestimate their cunning and power. We need to strategize, gather information, and strike with precision. We can't leave any room for error. They won't hesitate to cause harm if given the chance.
Goku's expression darkened as he thought about the losses they had already suffered. Damn it, we've already lost too much, he said, his voice low and heavy with grief. But we can't let that stop us. We have to keep fighting, no matter what, for everyone we've lost.
Bardock nodded, a solemn expression on his face. He knew all too well the weight of loss and the pain it brought. You're right, Goku. We can't let despair consume us. Those we've lost, we need to honor their memory by fighting on. Their sacrifices won't be in vain. We can't give in to despair, not now. We owe it to them to keep pushing forward.
Frieza paused, a sly smile playing on his lips. He was quite pleased with how things were unfolding. With evil Regu by his side now, he felt unstoppable. The plan, my spectral ally, is simple, Frieza began, his voice filled with confidence. We'll use the power and allegiance of your evil counterpart to our advantage. He'll be a powerful pawn in our game, a tool we can use to further our ambitions.